Hey guys, it's Alice and I'm here with Jonathan Foltz from Pitch Investors Live, and they call him the digital frontiersman. You could see some inspirational quotes and a mantra that Jonathan goes by. And why are you called the digital frontiersman?
Well, I mean, basically, what we're entering into is basically a little bit of a new age, especially with blockchain. One of the reasons I was so attracted to blockchain technology was because there's a new frontier being created literally right in front of us and unfolding in front of our eyes, where you can create anything, but it's also an environment that not a lot of people know. So it's like you're going out into a new frontier, and we're seeing that, in the blockchain space very, very much so as we speak now. So that's one of the reasons I like to be an architect of the future. And with blockchain, it's more than possible. Yeah.
This is pretty cool, and so obviously Jonathan has been working on Pitch Investors Live for almost a year, and I joined the team a couple months ago, and so it's been cool to see the evolution of this project. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I met Matthew, basically the founder. I ended up becoming the co-founder, and I met him about 2 years and change ago at a startup conference. And at the startup conference, we were just collaborating, and he told me about a project that he had called 2Up. And all it was a app that allows two people to go live. And this was when Facebook Live did not even exist. More Periscope was around at the time, but it was a live format where two people could go and debate. So just imagine, it was a clash of ideals in a way, because it was like, let's say a Muslim versus a Christian, someone pro-abortion, someone against abortion. And then what people would do is they would watch and they would vote on the person. So me and Matt almost went into business. I was going to help him with the marketing and business aspect as he developed this app. We never really went to business, but we used to attend some masterminds that I used to put together, and we stayed friends through the time. And around, a little bit less than a year ago, he came over to our place. We called it the Marketers Mansion, where we had influencers, marketers, Google Analytics experts, Facebook experts that would travel from around the world to our place. So he came over for 2 weeks to work on some projects, let's say in the app development space, for Shopify, e-commerce and everything. That's another field that I currently am myself. And what ended up happening is, like, we were just all enthralled by, blockchain and, these new ICOs and token sales that were taking the world by storm, right before
last year in the summer.
Yeah, which was crazy. So like, we just, the majority of the time it talked about that, and we were talking about Pitch Investors Live. I love the idea. And then, we did some really cool stuff and talked about it all. Matthew went home and he basically finalized his white paper, and he called me to see about, helping him with the marketing, hiring my agency, Digital Age Business. And as time went on, I basically told him no. But the reason I told him no is because I didn't want to just help him with the marketing. I wanted to be involved, because me as an entrepreneur, I've had 20 companies, and I know how hard it is to get funding. And I love the Shark Tank type of style that this had, mixed with Kickstarter, similar but very different. So it's like, for me, I was like, man, I want to be involved to build this. You know, so we got together, and that's how I became the co-founder, bringing on like some of my team members from my other companies. And as time went on, we just started telling some of our other friends about it. They really loved the idea, and that's where we just started like building like an amazing team that started building everything out, and it just progressively just started accelerating, and people getting really excited about what we're doing.
Well, it's interesting because Jonathan and I met in Arizona, where he hosted the Marketers Mastermind, and so there is something unique about bringing people together to a location, something like here, this house where you live now, with Damian, Lawrence, and Ben. And what's interesting is that collaboration that can accelerate any business. Can you talk a little bit about the power of bringing brilliant minds together and working on the startup ecosystem?
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I realize is that, so many times I try to do things on my own, and I didn't realize how much easier it is when you collaborate with others, whether it's through mentorship, friendships, networks. So what we did is we got together in Phoenix, Arizona, and we brought all these like marketers, internet marketers, and guys in the e-commerce space, and influencers online, social media experts, and people that have built substantial businesses together for like a common goal. And when this happened, it basically accelerated us forward in a way that was never possible before.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving at 4 or 5 times the speed, pretty similar to like how the Facebook mansion started out in California, because they got together and they get to collaborate, and these ideas are just being funneled through everyone in a much faster manner than trying to figure it out on your own, or calling people over the phone, or just chatting on these forums. It's much faster when you're able to just collaborate and get quick answers from a group dynamic, and that's the power of a mastermind. You can move at a much faster rate, so it's a bit of an accelerator.
Exactly, a home-based accelerator.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
more personal.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. And so we went to Puerto Rico together, and also you went with the team members to San Francisco, and we're sort of on this world tour now, spreading the message. And what's pretty cool is that everybody has a different perspective or an understanding about Pitch Investors Live. What are some feedback that you see in the industry interaction with our app?
Yeah, I mean, what people like about what we're doing, like most people that see it, they think it's a tremendous idea. I mean, we're one of the most popular booths at like the 3 shows that we've been to already when we kicked off our tour. And people love the idea because one of the things that's missing in the crypto and blockchain space is entertainment, right? And education. So there's becoming a larger and larger gap between what's really happening in the education levels of people. So, with what we're doing, we're allowing the education factor to come in while being entertained. And instead of so many technical analysis of checking out what a white paper is and everything else, it's becoming harder and harder. So we're bridging that gap with this, like very much like CryptoKitties went wild, so much so that it clogged up the Ethereum network. You know what I mean? Like, because there wasn't enough entertainment applications, let's say on the Ethereum network, that can help people just understand and have a little bit of fun, that work very well. There's not a lot of them out there right now.
Exactly. And so how do you see that marketing is really important to distinguish the good blockchain project from the bad, and really making more awareness around marketing unique projects? Because that's essentially at the end of the day, that's what differentiates certain projects from others.
Yeah, I mean, marketing is a huge perspective, because it can either make a bad project go very far, which is one of the things that the SEC is having problems with, and then really great projects that are extremely technical. If there is no actual great marketing behind it, they could be left without getting any type of funding or have their project be found out in the marketplace. So that to me is a big distinguishing factor that tells people whether a project is going to do well or not. So it's if you're not bringing the proper marketing and PR, community building into a project, it's going to make it a lot harder, no matter how good the idea, team, and everyone else is.
That's pretty cool. And so last question is, how does this project, as co-founder of Pitch Investors Live, align with your vision for digital frontiersmen and women?
Oh, cool. I mean, basically, this is just the platform that is allowing entrepreneurs from around the world to have an opportunity that was never there before. One of the things that we talk about is how the young kid from South Africa can actually pitch, let's say, a prince in Dubai. When was that possible before? And now through the power of cryptocurrencies, this can actually be done. If a prince, or let's say a venture capitalist out in Silicon Valley wanted to actually get a pitch from this South African super genius, how can they do it? It was almost never possible before, and how can they even transfer any funds? With the power of Bitcoin and different cryptocurrencies, it's changing the whole entire dynamic. And for me, with a vision of let's say digital frontiersmen and what I want to create for the future, why they align so well is because we're now allowing the speeding of, let's say, startups and great ideas and innovations to come to the market in a much better way. And then, utilizing our vetting processes that we have through Pitch Investors Live, we'll know the good projects from the bad through the community and such.
Well, that's pretty awesome. So come check us out at pitchinvestorslive.com, and we'll be keeping you updated. Thanks for that with Jonathan here.
Thank you.